friends. Dear friends, good evening. Today let us continue the strength of solution. The strength of solutions. As far as the strengths of solutions are concerned, one of the standard to express the strength of solution is normality. Normality is denoted by capital N. I am repeating my statement. To express the strength of a standard solution means solutions of known strength. The first standard is normality, denoted by capital N. And to know normality, we should know normal solutions. So now, let us discuss what are normal solutions. Normal solutions. It is already discussed repeatedly that when a solute is dissolved in a solvent, proper solvent, then what we get? We get solutions. When a solute is dissolved in a solvent, then what we get? We get solutions. And under the consideration of normal solution, here mass of solute is taken. Mass of solute. What is taken into consideration? Mass of solute. And this mass of solute is expressed in terms of equivalent mass. Expressed in terms of equivalent mass. That is, the mass is specified. Any amount, any mass of the solute is to be dissolved. It is specified in terms of number of equivalents. And here the volume of solution is considered. Volume of solution. And this volume of solution should be either 1000 cc or ml, or it may be 1 liter. 1000 cc or 1000 ml milliliter or 1 liter. Means to prepare a normal solution, what is required? We have to dissolve mass of solute in terms of equivalent mass in 1000 cc or 1 liter volume of solution. That means, in more clear way, what can we say? जो 1 liter volume of solution should contain one equivalent mass of the solute. One equivalent mass of the solute. What is the need for a normal solution? For a normal solution, in 1000 cc of that solution or 1 liter volume of that solution, one equivalent mass of solute must be there. So now the question arises, how to know the equivalent mass, or what is the significance of equivalent mass, and hence number of equivalents of different types of solutes. So now come to the point, equivalent mass of different types of solutes. What we want to study, I want to explain to you now the equivalent mass, how to determine the equivalent mass of the different types of solutes. Different types of solutes. Say for example, first case, equivalent mass of a compound. Equivalent mass of a compound. Equivalent mass of a compound. Dear friends, before going to the detail, I want to clarify that when we consider a compound, say for example, simplest one is what? Sodium chloride. Suppose sodium chloride is the compound, is the solute under consideration, and what we are knowing, sodium chloride consists of one sodium plus ion and one chloride minus ion. One sodium plus ion and one chloride minus ion. Friends, I want to tell you that while the composition of a compound equal equivalence of cation and anion combined, this is the basic fundamental of the composition of a compound. What is the basic fundamental of the composition of a compound? Equal equivalent of cation and anion should combine. Now here sodium plus ion is there and chloride minus ion is there. So before going ahead, we have to decide here equivalent mass of ions. Equivalent mass of ions. So ions are in ionic form, and without going to much detail, we can directly decide the equivalent mass of ion by considering what? This relation, equivalent mass of ions is equal to ionic mass, or same may be called formula unit mass. What? Formula unit mass, ionic mass or formula unit mass of ion divided by valency integer. Divided by valency integer without any charge. Valency integer, not the sign positive or negative. So how to determine, how to calculate the equivalent mass of ions? Ionic mass or formula unit mass of the ion divided by valency integer. Now let us apply this formula to determine the equivalent mass of sodium plus ion and chloride minus ion. Sodium plus ion and what? Chloride minus ion. So equivalent mass of sodium plus ion is equal to ionic mass or formula unit mass divided by valency integer. Valency integer. Since sodium plus ion is a monoatomic ion, it is an atomic ion derived from sodium neutral atom of sodium. So the atomic mass of sodium, that is 23, will be the ionic mass of sodium plus ion. Ionic mass of sodium plus ion, that means it will be 23. And repeating, the sodium plus ion consists of only one sodium atom. It is here in the form of atomic ion. So the atomic mass of sodium, that is 23, will be the atomic mass of sodium plus ion, because in order to make sodium plus ion from sodium neutral atom, only one electron is lost, and electrons have negligible mass, so atomic mass is equal to ionic mass, and sodium plus iron means 1 into positive charge is there, so divided by 1, valence integer is 1, so it will be your 23. So 23 parts by weight, 23 parts by mass or weight will be the equivalent mass of sodium plus iron. Likewise, what will be the equivalent mass of chloride ion? Equivalent mass in same way, the equivalent mass of chloride ion. Again, chloride ion consists of one chlorine atom. So one chlorine atom means it is also a monoatomic ion. Atomic ion, so atomic mass is equal to ionic mass. So it will be what? 35.5 divided by 1 unit negative charge means 1. So it will be 35.5 parts by weight. 35.5 parts by weight. Now come to NaCl, sodium chloride. So when we will consider sodium chloride, here 23 parts by weight of sodium is there and 35.5 parts by mass or weight of Cl is there. So we can say 23 means 1 equivalent mass and Cl means 35.5 means 1 equivalent mass. So we can conclude that equal equivalent masses of different constituent ions combine to form a compound. Equal equivalents of different ions combine to constitute a compound. To make this point more clear, now let us consider another case. Because here atomic mass and equivalent mass are equal, so anyone can be confused. Why not we should consider equal atomic masses? Dear friend, here it is a chance that valency of both the ions are one with positive sign and one with negative sign, and that's why atomic mass is equal to equivalent mass. But now let us consider the case of sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. When we write the formula Na2CO3, it is automatically clear that here two equivalents of sodium are there. Because just now what we decided? We decided one equivalent of sodium means 23 parts by weight. So 2 equivalents is here 2 into 23, and carbonate 12 plus 38, that means 60. So here 2 sodium means 2 plus charge and 1 carbonate 2 minus charge. So here total charge is 0. So directly what can we say now? What here 2 equivalents are there. 2 equivalents and carbonate here equivalent mass of carbonate ion will be what? Ionic mass or formula unit mass 60 divided by valence integer means 2, that means your 30 parts by weight will be the equivalent mass of carbonate ion, equivalent mass of carbonate ion. So here 60 means 2 into 30. 2 into 30 means what? 2 equivalents. 2 equivalents. So dear friends, what is clear? 2 equivalents of sodium combined with 2 equivalents of carbonate to form 1 molecule of sodium carbonate. So when we will simplify mathematically, what it will be 1 equivalent, and again it will be 1 equivalent. So 1 equivalent of a cation combines with 1 equivalent of an anion to form a compound. So what is clear? Equal equivalents of different ions, cation and anions combine to form a compound, and that's why this is the valid reason that the total valence valency of a compound is 0. How to justify that total valency of a compound is 0? To justify the total valency of a compound 0, we should consider this fact. What is the fact? Equal equivalence of different ions, cations and anions combine to form a compound. And as soon as equal equivalence will be there, so number of units of positive and negative charge both will be equal. And when the number of units of positive and negative charge both will be equal, then it is automatic that the total valency of a compound is 0. So in simplest way, while writing the chemical formula of a chemical compound, what do we do? What do we consider? We consider the exchange of valency integer, interchange of valency integer, so that the total valency, sum of the valency of cation and anion becomes 0. So, but actual fact is equal equivalence must be there, and that's why when you will consider equal equivalence of cation and anion, automatically the total valency of a compound will be 0. So after getting this, now come to the point how to calculate the equivalent mass of a compound. First type of solute, your equivalent compound, so equivalent mass of a compound. So equivalent mass of a compound, equivalent mass of a compound, it will be the fraction of the molecular mass. What? It will be the fraction of the molecular mass, and in that fraction, what? Entire molecular mass will come. Means in some cases equivalent mass is equal to molecular mass, or in other cases it will be any fraction 1 upon nth of the molecular mass, and n will be equal to what? 1, 2, 3 dot 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 whole number. 1, 2, 3 dot 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 whole number. So equivalent mass of a compound is equal to what? Molecular mass. Molecular mass of the compound divided by what? Valency integer of cations or anions. Valency integer of cations and anions. Dear friends, just now we decided, what we decided? In a compound, total valency integer of cation and anion are equal, so that the total valency of a compound is 0. So here the valency of either total valency of either cation or anion will be considered. So equivalent mass of a compound is equal to molecular mass divided by what? Total valency of either cation or anion. So by using this formula, we can calculate the equivalent mass of any compound. Again come to the fact, example 1, equivalent mass of NaCl, equivalent mass of sodium chloride. This will equal to molecular mass divided by valency of sodium plus ion or chloride minus ion. Valency of sodium plus ion or chloride minus ion. Here molecular mass will be 23 plus 35.5 divided by valency of sodium plus ion. 1 sodium plus ion plus 1 means 1, or 1 chloride minus ion means 1. So it will be 58.5 by 1 is equal to 58.5. So equivalent mass of sodium chloride is equal to molecular mass, because here the valency of cation and anion are plus 1, 1 plus and 1 minus each. Now one more example to make it more clear, that is your equivalent mass of what? Sodium carbonate. Again, equivalent mass of sodium carbonate. How to calculate the equivalent mass of sodium carbonate? This time compound under consideration, so is your sodium carbonate and hydrous non-crystalline. So this will equal to what? Molecular mass or molar mass divided by valency of 2 sodium plus ion, because 2 sodium plus ions are there. 2 valency of 2 sodium plus ion or 1 carbonate ion. Against 2 sodium plus ion, 1 carbonate ion is there. And what is the molecular mass? So 2 sodium is 2 into 23 plus 12 plus 16 into 3 divided by 2. That means when you will add, it will come 106 by 2. That means 53. That means 53 parts by weight. 53 grams will be the equivalent mass or gram equivalent mass of sodium carbonate. Why it is so? Why divided by 2? Why in this case the equivalent mass is half of the molecular mass? Because here common valency integer of 2 sodium plus ion or 1 carbonate ion is 2, and that's why it will be half of molecular mass. What will be? The equivalent mass of sodium carbonate and hydrous will be half of the molecular mass and molar mass of what? The sodium carbonate and hydrous. So by the way, you can calculate or we can calculate the equivalent masses of different compounds. So this is enough for today. Thank you all.